Hello mathematicians, hope by the end of this video you can say I can simplify radical expressions that include perfect square roots. We're going to look at a couple of different examples in this video here. So we're given the square root of 75 and we're going to try to simplify it. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for the greatest factor 75 that has a perfect square. And well, we know that our factors of 75, well obviously we have 1 and 75, we've got 3 and 25. We've got 5 and 15, and that is it. Well, out of these, we know that 25 is a perfect square. So we can rewrite this right here as a square root of 25 times 3 with both of them underneath this radical symbol here. And well, we know the square root of 25 is 5, so we can actually pull that out. So we can pull that out and go 5 times the square root of 3. So this is going to be our simplified radical right here. 5 times the square root of 3, or 5 square roots of 3. Okay. You also might sometimes maybe see this process notated as this, where you go the square root of 25 times the square root of 3. I've seen it both ways, and then you would pull that out and go equals 5 times the square root of 3. So you might see it kind of notated or work through in both ways like that. And just to clarify here, the square root of 25 has a perfect square, which is 5. However, the square root of 3 does not have a perfect square. So that is why we leave it underneath this radical symbol. It cannot be simplified any further. And because it does not have a perfect square, this is an irrational number. So square root of 3, if you were to convert it to a decimal, would not either terminate or repeat. It would just keep going on in a random fashion, okay? So it is an irrational number. So that is why we just leave it as this form right here as a radical. Let's look at one more example. So we're given the square root of 128 now. And well, we know that this is equal to the square root of 64 times 2. We can include them both underneath the radical symbol, or we could write them as two different radicals if we wanted. And well, we know the square root of 64 is just 8. So we're going to get 8 times the square root of 2. And this would be our answer in simplest form. So that is it for a video. Hope for watching this and getting a little bit of practice. You can say I can simplify radical expressions that include perfect square roots.